bonk, bonk, bonk. I don't know if you hear that or feel that, but it seems like Spirit is bonking you on the head for some reason. Hello guys, I am the Honest Hierophant, and in today's video, I'm going to be covering why is Spirit bonking you in the head for? What are they trying to convey to you, honestly? For the piles in today's video, we have for pile number 1, the Golden Wheel Tarot with a Sodalite crystal. The zodiacs associated with the Sodalite is Sagittarius. For pile number 2, we have the Astromatrix tarot deck with the Chrysanthemum crystal, and the zodiacs associated with it is Aquarius and Taurus. And then for pile number 3, we have the Sacred Kingdoms deck with a Larvikite tower, and the zodiacs associated with it is Cancer. Just because the zodiacs associated to the crystals are not part of your big 3 does not mean that the piles are not meant for you. It's just for anybody that are having doubts in picking their pile can have some sort of extra verification for their piles. The crystal properties will be down in the description below. For anybody else that needs help picking their pile, go ahead and choose your pile now, and we'll get straight into your reading. Hello my pile number 1s, welcome into your section of the video. Whether you have chosen the Sodalite crystal or whether you have chosen the Golden Wheel tarot deck, welcome into your section of the video. You have been getting bonked in your head repeatedly by your spirit guides, and they're trying to convey something to you, and maybe you're just not listening. Maybe you can't hear them, or maybe you just aren't listening. One of the two is happening here, and they are trying to convey a message to you very strongly enough that they are willing to bonk you in the head with like a rubber hammer, you know? Like they are trying to get their point across, and they are wanting you to know this message. The tarot cards have been shuffled in advance for your convenience. So let's go ahead and figure out what this message is. Got the 2 of Cups, the 5 of Swords, the 10 of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and lastly, the 4 of Wands. So there is something currently in your life, and it seems like it could be a romantic connection that is really being pressured into being something for you, pile number 1. It seems like there's a lot of force behind this. It seems like you are trying to maybe potentially fit a square peg in a circle hole, and you are just really trying to force something. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic connection. It could be something that you are forcing yourself into doing to kind of fit the category of what your end goal wants to be. I feel like you have an end goal or a vision or a dream of something that you realistically want, and you are literally trying to force that into yourself or into a partner, and maybe it's just not meant to work in that case scenario. And I feel like you are forcing it so hardly right now that it's leaving you with, delusion or confusion, and it's almost like you're not taking a no for an answer here. And this is a very strong message because honestly, I feel like this is wrapped around maybe an ego death here. Maybe you are needing to take an ego death for you to be able to either hear spirit clearly or to see the true vision clearly. Because it almost gives me a vibe where, you're forcing so hard for something to happen that maybe it's not, obviously it's not meant for you to happen in that regards, but also maybe the dream that you have isn't exactly what you might want. Maybe you think that you want something, but maybe it's not realistically something that you actually want. And it might be something that you might want to reconsider and stop forcing something into, that situation. Let's pull some extra cards here. We got the 9 of Swords. Oh, what is this? The 3 of Cups in reverse. Okay. Oop, we got another 5 of Wands in reverse. 2 of Pentacles. and the Hermit. All right. So yeah, there's some things that, obviously are, things that you're dealing with that are puzzling, that are stressful, that are irritating. And with all parties involved, whether it's just you, or whether it's you in spirit, or whether you in a romantic connection, or you and your family, or you and a business partner, depending on your situation, I feel like with all parties involved, not everybody's happy with the way things are going, with the way things are happening. And things are not improving. Things are not growing. Things are not working in your favor, working in your light. It almost seems like things are slowly declining. And maybe this is something that you are not seeing because you are repeatedly forcing your will onto something here. And I feel like these are, decisions that you've got to make instead of like ignoring them. I feel like there's some decisions along this path of yours that you have chosen to, not give in to asking yourself, or you've chosen to ignore and pass it by and allow yourself to keep moving forward and not really see that there's some internal work that obviously needs to be done or needs to be worked on upon asking these questions to yourself. And maybe that's the ego death, like maybe there's a reason for this. Maybe there is a spiritual, guidance here for you to kind of just let things go and let things naturally happen and allow yourself to maybe be a bit more free flowing while you're working on yourself. So that way, whenever, you have this ego death and you are actually, putting in the work behind yourself, things will naturally start to fall into place a whole lot easier, and the right peg will line up with the right hole, so that way you're not forcing things into place. Because for some reason it feels like you are forcing things, and I'm kind of curious more so about like what is the thing that you're actually forcing here. So I might shuffle these cards here. It's not a might, it's a guarantee. I'm going to shuffle these cards here. What is pile number 1 working towards? Like, what are they forcing here? Let's see if we can get some cards to clarify this. Oh, got the Lovers. So it might be a romantic connection here. Oh, there's the Devil. The Fool. Ten of Cups. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I feel like there is a path here that you're trying to force a connection with somebody, and that it's not really working in your favor, and that maybe you need to back it off a hair. Maybe you are allowing some of your problems weigh in on the partnership, or, maybe that's your kind of like motivation to, fulfilling that partnership is some of the negative energy that you are withholding, or some of the problems that you have within yourself, whether that's insecurities, whether that's, pain and suffering, or whether that's just being in depression, or something internally within inside you. It's kind of like the fuel and the fire to this motivation of forcing this connection. Somebody that you are reaching out to, someone that you are, trying to start a new beginning with, someone that you think that's going to give you the ultimate fulfilling energy for you. But it's almost like you need to stop trying to butt your head up against that wall, kind of like how the Rams are in the picture of the Two of Wands. Stop like battling yourself, stop battling the energy that you are trying to go up against, and really take a look around you. Like maybe you realize that all this energy that you're putting up against yourself, or all this energy you're putting up against divine timing or divine energies, that you are actually like kind of like standing there beating yourself up alone. It almost seems like everybody has kind of like left. Everybody has lost interest. Everybody has lost, that motivation to continue to watch you try to figure it out. That maybe what you're trying to force is already over. And you just don't realize it. You just don't realize that it's time for you to take what you have learned from this situation and move on to a newer path, a newer expectation. And that newer expectation is being more reflective, being more involved with your own energy to see what it is you need to work on, what it is you need to heal, what it is you need to empower yourself with to grow and to find what you're actually looking for in life, which is that partner. So let's see if I can pull some extra cards of like what kind of insecurities or what kind of energies you are dealing with that maybe you're suffering with. What is this fuel? What is this fire? What is this motivation here? Let's see. Got the Knight of Pentacles. Got the World. The Four of Pentacles. The Knight of Swords. And the Eight of Pentacles. I realistically feel like you are trying so hard to make yourself live a reality that is not like your past. You are trying to design your future. You're trying to design your experiences to not have to deal with the past, to not relive the past, to not have anything happen the same as the past. You would rather avoid dealing with your internal being, dealing with your internal battles, dealing with the trauma from the past. And you're trying to make sure that you just don't repeat the same mistakes, you don't repeat the same patterns, and you would rather just live in accordance to that. And that's not necessarily the healthiest thing, because the more that you try to force something, the more that you look at something with your ego and saying that I've got to have this because it's the only way, that's when you start running into problems. Because there's not just one set way that your life can grow into what it is that you want. It could be multiple things here. It could be multiple avenues for you to heal and grow and find that person. Maybe these multiple avenues have different time lengths. You know, the timelines might be different for each one. But at the same time, you've got to find the appropriate one. You've got to allow yourself to be a bit more free-flowing and a bit more energetic to those things. So that way you come to the right things for you. You heal the right way for you. Because then you'll bring in what it is that will actually make you happy. Because whenever you're looking at forcing something, you actually might end up finding the wrong things for you because you have this filter, you have this mask on, not allowing you to see things very clearly. It's almost like putting yourself in a situation where you're wearing like beer goggles, for example, and all you're seeing is this blurrier image of what you think you would want or what you think reality could be for you. And it might not be the healthiest, it might not be the most positive, and you actually might be putting yourself in a situation where you are actually going through the same mistakes over and over again because it's not meant for you. You can't just force something to happen. It's got to be free-flowing and natural and beautiful. Let's ask how you can overcome these internal struggles of dealing with the past. How can pile number one actually get through this to find the right thing, to find the right path, to stop forcing things? Got the Queen of Pentacles. Got the Knight of Wands. You got the Strength card. You got the Eight of Swords. And then lastly, you got the Two of Swords. So you've got to stop being conflicted. You've got to actually address it. You've got to actually own up to what you have lived. You've got to actually go back through the experiences, even if you don't want to. Because that's going to create the energy you need to better yourself. That's going to create the energy you need to move on to your next life's potential. Create the energy you need to be passionate about life again. Maybe you're coming from a place of hurt and you're actually not standing on top of what you need to. And You've got to grow into this really proud, dominant energy that will allow you to be successful in life, that will allow you to achieve what it is you want out of life. And you got to realize that time may not look like it's on your side, but time is actually on your side. Time is not just going to pass you by. You're not going to, live one day and then the next day you're going to end up being like 80 something years old on your deathbed. You've got time. And why not start now? Why not start to heal it now? See things clearly, see things that you are neglecting, see things that you're missing, and allow yourself to heal that energy so that way you can actually attract the things that you want out of your life. Stop being so conflicted of whether you actually want to or whether you don't. Don't start and stop. Just start and keep going forward and keep healing and keep growing and doing the things that you're supposed to do, because that's what's going to elevate you to where you're wanting to be. And that's what Spirit wants you to know. Stop avoiding the healing. Stop forcing things that isn't actually meant for you to cover up those healing patterns that you actually need to work on. Because it's only going to get worse. You're only going to put yourself in a worser situation than you are now. So heal, grow, be better. Divine timing. Timing is on your side. And you will find the things that are meant for you. You'll find the things that are actually going to be things that you'll be happy with, and not things that you think you will and end up being not happy. So that's what I have for you, pile number 1. I hope that makes sense with you and resonates. I hope it's not too hard on you. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all so much, and I hope to see you on the next reading. Take care. Hello, my pile number 2s. Welcome into your section of the video, whether you have chosen the Chrysanthemum crystal or whether you have chosen the Astromatrix tarot deck. Welcome into your section of the video. We are trying to figure out what spirit is bonking you over the head for. They're trying to tell you something and maybe you're just not able to hear it, or maybe you're just not listening. One of the two reasons is the reason why Spirit is trying to bonk you over the head, and they've got something important to tell you. What could that be? The cards have already been pre-shuffled for your convenience, so let's go ahead and dive into them. We got the Tower, we got the King of Swords, the Nine of Cups, the Two of Wands, and then lastly, the Page of Swords. Very interesting energies. I'm going to pull one more card just to see here. Yeah. That's the energy that I was feeling from you right away, pile number 2. Is that there is definitely some, disruptant energy here. And I almost feel like the way that you are feeling right now is you're feeling a bit down. You're feeling a bit, depressed, or you're feeling a bit neglectful to yourself, something along the lines of that. Or maybe even neglectful to the duties that you have in, the real world, or maybe neglectful to the duties that you have with other people. There's something that, is keeping you kind of like tapped into a hurt energy, a depressing energy. And it almost seems like the more that you tap into this energy, the more that you sink into feeling this way, the more disruption that it's creating within your life. And it's almost like you're going at this with more of kind of like a stubborn mindset, a negative mindset. As you can see, the Nine of Cups is a lady that almost seems like she's a bit upset. And usually to me, the Nine of Cups resembles, happy, joyous, successful, being able to celebrate a good moment, being able to be fulfilled in a great energy that like you've been successful and you've accomplished something and you should be proud of yourself. But for some reason, this lady in this picture, at least to me, kind of looks a bit ungrateful, very not cheery. And it almost seems like that's kind of, the situation that you are, taking, that maybe you were looking at things a bit more analytical, a bit more maybe scientific, of trying to diagnose of why things are happening in your life. the way they are, where it almost seems like it's a tower movement after tower movement after tower movement. And these things are adding up to a point where they are, not going right for you one after the other, because you're allowing yourself to kind of like tap into this energy of avoidance, or, sinking into the misery or sinking into the depression, that it starts leaching out onto everything else. It starts to bring everything else down. It starts to, affect your dreams. It starts to affect your visions. It starts to affect what you're trying to see in the world. And it almost seems like you want people to feel sorry for you, or you want to, I don't know. It's almost like you're trying to make a point for something, whether it's for someone that's hurt you. Maybe you're trying to show them like, hey, like I'm hurt and this is because of you. Or maybe, you're trying to prove a point to something else. That is, up for you to decide what it is that you are trying to do here. And it's almost like you are in this comfortable nature of this energy. Let's see if I can pull some more cards here. Got the Nine of Wands, the Two of Pentacles, got the Five of Swords, Six of Swords, the Three of Cups, and the Knight of Cups. Yeah. So, like, you're dealing with this situation here with the Nine of Wands. It's almost kind of like a timeline from this as being the start to this being the end here. It's almost like it's a timeline for you of this is the energy you're dealing with. You're dealing with something very conflicting. You're dealing with a hurdle. You're dealing with an obstacle. And the obstacle seems to be the past. You're very confused about the past, of why things happen, why things are hurting you, why you feel hurt. Maybe you've got a lot of buildup of hurt. Maybe you've got a lot of buildup of previous tower movements. Maybe it's just not one set in stone pinpoint thing. And it seems like Spirit is wanting to rescue you from this energy. That's why Spirit is bonking you on the head. They are taking your grieving energy of you and your inner child, of this lifelong history of hurt. And they're trying to take you away from that. They're trying to build you up to a healthier person, so that way you can have all this great energy of celebrating happiness, celebrating your life, celebrating connection with people, having a romantic connection with yourself or a romantic connection with a partner. They're trying to build your life up in the emotions category. They're trying to erase some of this hurt that you are feeling, that you're feeling down, you're feeling ungrateful for the world that is trying to give you good things, but you're just not taking those good things, and you're wanting to sit with what feels comfortable to you. And the reason why it feels comfortable to you is because you've allowed yourself to build up that habit. You've allowed yourself to build up that routine of being in this position. It's what you're used to. It's what you're familiar with. And anything that feels good doesn't feel familiar at all. So you're really prioritizing being stuck in the past and being stuck in this negative energy, and you're not allowing yourself to move forward. You're not allowing yourself to heal, because it's almost like you're trying to prove a point to somebody, whether it's a parental figure, whether it's a past loved one, or whether it might be a boss or something of that nature, that you're trying to express to them, hey, look, I am not happy because of you. You have led me to this point of being hurt and careless with my own self, that I cannot be happy. Like, there's no way for me to be happy in this world because of you. But realistically, this is something that you've got to heal from. This is something that you got to really take on as something serious, that there is good in this world. There is a place for you to be happy in this world. And Spirit wants to show you that. It's kind of like the Aladdin movie, where he's like, I want to show you the world. That's almost kind of like what Spirit is trying to show you, Is like Spirit wants to show you the world of what you could have and how you could be happy. What is the best course of action for pile number 2 here to heal? What do they need to do? You got the Sun card, Strength card, King of Wands, the Hanged Man, and the Page of Cups. I feel like there is a situation here where you are kind of avoidant. You're kind of avoidant to good things. Maybe you shut yourself down. Maybe you know, let's just say, for example, if someone from the lottery called you and said, hey, look, check your ticket. You just won $1 million. And they had your information somehow. I'm just theoretically telling you a story. But let's just say they called you and you're like really avoidant to the point where you're like, oh, you're just a scammer. Even though they prove to you their credentials and prove to you like it's coming from a legit place and everything like that. You're just like, nah, you're just a scammer. And you hang up on them. You shut down. You move away from that scenario because you're not allowing yourself to accept the good in this world. You're not allowing yourself to see. You're like this King of Wands where you're just avoidant. You're avoidant to the rest of the world that could shape you up to being better energy. And you're focusing on the past. You're focusing on how you feel right now. And nothing can change how you feel right now but yourself. And I think that you have got to be the one to unleash that potential for you. You've got to obviously heal yourself. But you've got to be open to healing yourself. You've got to be open to understanding that there is great potential out in this world, that there is healing, that there is positive energy, that there is love and light, that there are good people in this world that can, benefit for you. You've got to be able to see the world. You've got to be able to see the beauty in everything. And if you're willing to, hunker down and block everything out, you're never going to see that. So you've got to strengthen yourself, just like the strength card is here. You've got to build yourself up. You've got to give yourself that momentum to really make those choices for you. Because everybody is deserving. Everybody is able to grow into happiness, into things that they actually want for themselves. And I think you have that potential. Pile number 2. But you've got to see that true. You've got to see that. That's really there. It's not something that's just a fairy tale that you read in a book. It's something that you can actually have. And I think that's something that you're avoiding here. Because maybe you feel like you're not worthy. Maybe you feel like you're proving a point. Maybe you feel like you are indebted to something. It's just simply not the case. You can grow away from this and grow into your truest potential. What kind of motivation does pile number 2 need from hearing this message? What motivation do they need? I'm hearing from Spirit that they also want you to know that you have a really strong spiritual team with you that really, really loves you and that really, really wants to see you succeed and be happy. That they are all rooting for you to, move to the next chapter in your life of happiness and fulfillment. That they are ready to take you there as long as you take their hand. They are willing to be gentle with you. They're willing to help you heal. As long as you listen to them, as long as you take the right approaches to things, they are willing to help guide you while also being gentle with your truest emotions. What is the motivation that pile number 2 needs to hear right now? All right, let's see here. We got the Emperor. Got the 4 swords. We got the Death and Rebirth. We got the Wheel of Fortune. The 8 of Wands. And I know I know that this is only going to be for some of you, pile number 2. Not everybody's going to see it the same way. But for the ones that are super spiritual and the ones that have super spiritual backgrounds of understanding how a lot of spiritual things work, how a lot of life patterns work and things of that nature, it almost seems like to me that this is a case scenario where you kind of had to have gone through some of the things that you've went through to be able to see the real beauty in the world, because it almost seems like in your past lives that you've maybe taken things for granted. Maybe you've not really embraced the world for what it actually is, and maybe you've abused and manipulated the world. And maybe it seems like in this life that, that was what happened to you. It's almost like you got a receipt of what you had done to the world, but the world done it back to you in this case scenario. So that way that you can see the beauty in the world. I know that's not motivation, but I just want you to know that it's got a legitimate reason for you, and it's got a payoff. It's not like you're dealing with really negative things. It's actually got a payoff for you. It's actually going to turn into something for you. So just know that you're going to be safe and sound. Just know that you are going to be dealt with gentle hands, that you are going to feel this sense of security and stability along this path, that you're not going to be feeling weak or vulnerable, that you're actually going to be able to stand strong and be standing in your own power with your strength. And whenever you make this choice for you, you have the ability to be the one to make these choices. But when you have the ability to make these choices, it's going to be free-flowing. It's going to move quickly. It's not going to be something that drags by and something that's going to continuously hurt you along the way. You're not going to feel every bump, every scratch along the way. It's almost going to be like ripping a Band-Aid off. You're going to feel just 1 ounce of pain, and then the rest of it free flows, gives you good energy, and you get to remaster yourself. You get to remaster your life. You get to balance everything out and get all the good out of life that you hope to have, that you hope to have had from a childlike mind. When you were very, very little, you're hoping that the world could create something very beautiful for you. And I think that you can have that still as long as you put your mind to it. Time is on your side, just like with pile number 1. Time is on your side. Time is not going to pass you by. You can have everything that you still want, and you're going to be protected. You're going to be loved. You're going to be protected like a fragile delivery on a Amazon truck. You're going to be fine. Just take your time, allow things to move in that direction, and you'll be great. This is what Spirit wanted to let you know, pile number 2. They're trying to bonk you on the head, saying, hey, look, stop sitting in your misery. Stop throwing your own pity party that no one else is going to attend with you. Get out of that black hole. Get out of that dark room. You've got this. It's all in your control, and you can have the world. I love you, pile number 2. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope to catch you on the next reading. Take care. Hello, my pile number 3s. Welcome into your section of the video. Whether you have chosen the Sacred Kingdoms Tarot or whether you have chosen the Larvikite Tower, welcome into your section. We're trying to figure out what Spirit is bonking you over the head with. They're trying to open you up, trying to tell you a message. Maybe you can't hear them. Maybe you're just not listening. What is it that they are trying to tell you right now? We'll get right into it. The cards have been shuffled for your convenience. Let's go ahead and drop the hammer. 6 of Wands. Queen of Swords. The Emperor. King of Cups. And the Ace of Swords. Interesting. Okay. So, I feel like Spirit is telling me here that there is something that you have chosen. There is something that you have tried to activate. There is something that you are walking in light of. You have made a decision. You have chosen to do something. And maybe your ground under your feet is starting to shake a little bit. Maybe there's a bit of turbulence. Maybe there's a bit of insecurity. Maybe there's a bit of, maybe like a lack of desire, maybe burnout, things of that nature. You have chosen this path, and this path kind of has chosen you in a way as well. You know, like it's almost like it's meant to be. It's almost like it's for you, which it is, obviously. And you need to stay strong. You have chosen this path for all the right reasons. Emotionally, physically, mentally, all these things are a plus. All these things are within the realm of what you have desired, what you want. But for some reason, maybe there's other people, maybe there's other manipulations, maybe there is, you know, other outcasts that are trying to knock you off your feet, that are trying to disturb your peace with the choice that you have made for this path. And I think you really need to realize that you have your own back. You have success with, you know, how you feel emotionally. You feel emotionally fulfilled for the most part. You have support behind you as well. You have guidance. You have direction. Spirit is there to help guide you. Maybe there are some other counterparts within your life that is also very supportive. And you are making all the right choices for you. It doesn't seem like there's really anything wrong with your path right now, except for this turbulence. Maybe things aren't coming into fruition as much as you would like, but all things are leading in the right direction. Let's see if I can pull some extra cards here. Got the Knight of Cups. Got the Six of Cups. We got the Eight of Pentacles. We got the Three of Swords. And then lastly, we have the Nine of Cups. All these are good cards, except for the Three of Swords, I would say. This person is definitely, you know, sitting meditatively on a rock with what looks to appear to be crashing waves around the rocks. You know, maybe this person is realizing that there's a lot of pressure around them. There's a lot of pressure, you know, involved with their path from other people, other obstructions, other energies that are not theirs, that don't need to even be included. Because right now, you are in love with what you're doing. You're in love with the path that you're on. You enjoy everything that it takes to make things work on this path. You enjoy dedicating time to yourself. You enjoy dedicating time to the outcome of what you really, really want. But both times, as you can see in the Three of Swords and the King of Cups, both are sitting meditatively. It's almost like when you take a pause to realize what all is around you in the world, that there is other internal affairs affecting you. And whenever you take away those external forces that are affecting you and actually turn them into something good, you can have more of what you want. You can have a more successful outcome. And I would really like to ask the cards, are these external forces the ones delaying you? Let's see if I can get an answer here. Is the ones on the external forces, are they delaying pile number 3 to their outcome that they are desiring? We have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups, you know, could resemble two different things here. It could resemble someone that is nurturing, or it can resemble someone that is manipulative. And that could be manipulative in your emotions, the way you feel about certain things. And I really think that there is an external force that is manipulating your emotions to make you feel a certain way about how you're perceiving your craft or the journey that you're on. And I think this is something that you need to maybe not necessarily affect the external forces, but try to have something in between of you and the external forces. What is it that you need to heal? What is it that you need to grow from? What is it that you can explore to make it to where there is more of a path of resistance between you and these external forces? So that way you can reach your desired outcome that you're wanting. There is some external forces here, pile number 3, that are affecting you on this path that maybe is delaying your success, that maybe is delaying your potential with how you feel about the situation. You know how you truly feel about the situation, but things get masked all the time with how we feel or how we connect with our emotions. And maybe you're just not seeing your emotions clearly sometimes. And I think that's something that you shouldn't allow yourself to get down or to get hurt by. Because there is payoff within this path. You've got to stay strong to this path because this path is what's calling you. This path is what's meant to be. Let's see here. How can they deal with these external forces? How can pile number 3 deal with the external forces? What is the best advice in this case scenario here? We have the 10 of Cups. We have the Star. No, excuse me. That is the Sun, not the Star. Might as well be the Star. We got the 2 of Pentacles. We got the Death card. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay, there's a lot of interesting cards here. It could be a multitude of people that are affecting you. Pile number 3. Whether it's, adult figure, someone that might be a parental figure, someone who thinks that they are close with you, someone that maybe feels connected with you in a way. Maybe there is a huge support team of yours that, might have some of these energies involved. And it almost seems like there needs to be protection here. I think maybe a few things you can cut off from doing, or maybe there's a few people that you can cut off from being in your life, but there might be some old patterns that you're used to that are allowing these energies to be involved in your life. And maybe you need to be able to cast that energy back towards the sender. Maybe you need to be able to, create these new patterns, create these new abilities, create this new protection, send it back to the sender, or create a, energy around you that is protective, maybe wearing protection bracelets, maybe not allowing yourself to be so close to people that doesn't have your highest good involved within their mind. Just being able to limit how much you project out, how much you speak into existence. And allow yourself to be surrounded by positive energy. Allow yourself to be positive. Even when maybe it's hard to be positive. Be positive. Because positive energy is obviously going to, outlast the negative. It's going to outshine the negative. It's going to cast positive energy towards the negative to maybe make it positive as well. So maybe you need to be able to let your positivity shine more than you are, and not letting yourself get into the 3 of Swords or soaking into the undesirable emotions of how you feel. Don't let yourself sit in those emotions too long. Obviously, you want to feel these emotions, but you don't want to sit in it too long to where you are feeling that energy a lot. You've got to be able to feel, move on, attract positive light, be positive light, and be yourself. Let's get a taste of where this path is leading you. Pile number 3. Where is this successful path leading pile number 3? What kind of motivation do they need? I feel like this path is all about coming to a love of yourself. You're loving yourself. You're loving what you're doing. You're creating a better connection with who you are. Because maybe there is a source of too much external forces that make up who you are. And you need to be able to resonate with yourself. You need to be able to resonate with, the energies that are supposed to make you who you are. Seems like what the ultimate path here is. We've got the 9 of Swords in reverse. We got the 7 of Wands, the 4 of Wands, the King of Wands, and the 10 of Wands. So it almost seems like there's a lot of Wands energy. Holy crap, just now realized that. You are building yourself up to a position in your life where you are going to be the proudest, that you are going to feel the most confident and the mightiest, and what you desire the most, right? You are building yourself up to a healthy foundation of what your life could be entirely, and you're working hard at it. You're working at facing anything that comes in your way. You're not going to allow things to belittle you. You're not going to allow things to move you. And you're going to be an immovable object. You're not going to let things drain your powers. You're not going to let anything drain your mindset. This is the outcome that you're going to have. You're going to be an immovable object. You're going to be a force to be reckoned with. And you're creating your most desirable outcome, your most desirable life that is meant for you, that has been waiting for you. It's waiting for you to take the throne. I see you being someone that lives to your own accord, lives to your own advice, lives to your own intuition, lives to your own ability to create things, to master things, to build a life. It's almost like you're building your own home within inside you. And that home is going to be protected because it's going to be made out of steel, titanium. And you are going to be living a healthier life overall, with no side effects, with no external energies affecting you as hard as they are currently. You will overcome the storm. You will outlast this terrible weather, and you'll be in the most peaceful, calm, serene type energy that you ever want to feel. Is there anything that needs to be said towards this Queen of Cups energy? What is this last message of this Queen of Cups energy here? What does pile number 3 need to hear about this Queen of Cups energy? The Hermit. Maybe dealing with this Queen of Cups energy less. Maybe allowing yourself to do some internal work to build up the resilience towards this Queen of Cups. To be able to take the time to show the light to this Queen of Cups energy. Maybe showing them more positivity energy. Maybe showing them more positive examples. Maybe being able to show them the light that you are guiding your path with. That you are safe, that you are sound, that you are capable, that you are wise, that you are experienced. That you have all the tools and necessities for this to work. With you being able to light the black candle in their hand with your white candle, you'll melt that candle away so that you can be able to give them a brand new white candle. That you are able to give them white positive energy for them to understand the world in a better way. And that is your truth. That is your positive energy that is just so wound up inside of you. It's so beautiful that you have that and that you can do so much with it. It's all how you act, pile number 3. It's all how you act with this positive energy that allows you to manipulate the things around you for them to work in your favor. And that's really, really awesome. And I really see a lot of success coming out of this for you. I hope this resonates with you, pile number 3. This is what Spirit's bonking you over the head for. They're wanting you to realize this. You got a lot of positive energy within you that can make a difference with your path, within your life, and you need to stay strong with the course of action that you are taking. This is your path. This is you. This is who you are supposed to be, and you've got this. I believe in you 100%, and I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Like I said, I hope this resonates, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care.